So as you guys know, I'm a fairly decent fan of the Fallout series. I certainly haven't played the first two games, which are like the classic sort of beloved Fallout games that are insanely hard and archaic, but, you know, cult classics to, say the least. I would never shit talk them, though I haven't played them myself, and I don't know if they're really my cup of tea. However, what I am a big fan of, what I do think is probably my favorite Fallout game out of the four that I've played, is Fallout New Vegas. I haven't played much of Fallout New Vegas, but I've watched a lot of Fallout New Vegas. I've seen how extensive the modding is, how the general game's way of running is, just how it is compared to the other Fallout games. And I think New Vegas is the best. I also really like its setting and vibe a lot. It's got the best setting and vibe of any Fallout game, in my opinion, and I see why it stood the test of time and retained such a wide fan base, you know? It's a very beloved series. And Fallout New Vegas has an extensive modding community on top of that, which has helped to keep the game alive. However, Fallout New Vegas's modding community is like a whole game community of itself. It is quite large, yet still somewhat insular, and recently, a big mod, like I guess it's an overhaul mod or a mod that takes place in like a Fallout nuclear Miami, or not Miami, Hawaii, which is super interesting sounding to me. It's called Ashfall, and apparently, there has been some scandal over it being woke within the Fallout New Vegas community. Doesn't really surprise me that a fair amount of Fallout New Vegas fans lean somewhat right, considering a lot of them stand the fuck out of Joshua Graham, who's this, like, Mormon religious fundamentalist killer who's, like, wrapped in bandages because he's burned across all of his body. Yeah, it's definitely a whole community of people. New Vegas was already woke, yeah, but they don't see it if they don't want to see it, you know what I mean? Regardless, I've been sent this video and asked to cover it. It's about 3 months old already. I'm kind of getting to this drama a bit late, but people have been begging me to cover it for months. So, I mean, if you guys still want me to cover this, then I will. The video's called The Mystery of Fallout Ashfall. Is this DLC-sized mod woke? Let's find out. I don't know if this is made by, like, a right-wing YouTuber or not, but Shadow Raven Studios does sound like the name that a conservative might give to their YouTube channel about, like, video games. So, yeah, we could go either way.
Hello, gents and ladies. Before I begin with today's video, I want to proudly announce that I am now an official YouTube partner on my YouTube channel. I want to thank all of my loyal fans for making this possible. Keep liking my videos, keep sharing my videos, and I want to see my videos to continue to grow on my YouTube channel, along with my other video channels as well.
Should I pre-record, like, a really shameless self-promotion bit just like this? Maybe I'm like screwing myself over by being so afraid of doing like calls to like and subscribe and donate and stuff and whatnot. Like I give like one little bit between segments. Maybe I need to do that in videos and more incessantly. God, people are so self-promoty. Is there like no shame around it anymore? I feel like whether or not you're supposed to be, like, shameful about it is dependent on whether or not there's, like, a big group of people online who hate you and will give you shit about it. Is he aware that Fallout itself is woke? Like I said, they won't see it if they don't want to see it.
Without further ado, now
I call it the alien effect.
I'm going to begin with today's video, and I hope you all enjoy this one.
Aloha, and welcome
You could also call it the Ripley effect.
to Fallout Ashfall. Fallout Ashfall is a DLC-sized expansion mod for Fallout New Vegas, which introduces Courier 6 to the Puna region on Hawaii's Big Island. Given Hawaii's rich culture and history, which we want to stay true to, there are so many things to explore. Quite literally. This video is brought to you by our sponsor, Nuka-Cola.
It's so, like, crazy that something like that triggered the right within the Fallout community when their entire thing is like, we want to have, like, an accurate depiction of Hawaii's culture in a post-apocalyptic landscape. Basically saying, we want to make Hawaii as realistic as possible in our massive mod. And people are like, boo! It's woke to care about indigenous people's cultures. Okay.
I am making this video by request, but there is a mysterious question going around regarding a mod called Fallout Ashfall. And the question is Fallout Ashfall a woke
This guy is a fucking gooner.
DLC mod? To give a brief explanation of what this is, Fallout Ashfall.
This town is real, by the way. Like, the town, like, this is real. You can go there in real life. They do a yearly Fallout event. You can go up the hill, which is exactly where you see it there. That's the Good Springs Cemetery. It is called Good Springs. The guy who sits out front, Easy Pete, I think his name is, or I forget what his name is, but he is literally based on a real guy who lives in this town and sits on the front porch of one of these two buildings. I forget which one. There's a general store, and there is I think it's called the Prospector. I think it's called, like, I forget what it's called in real life. It's not called the Prospector Saloon in real life. It's got a similar but different name.
Is a DLC-sized mod for Fallout New Vegas that's being developed by a team. I'm going to warn everybody right now, there's going to be some very controversial information I'm going to be giving in this video. And in regards to the intel I received this information from, throughout the whole video, I am going to refer to him as Anonymous Tip. However, there is very important information I need to uncover to everyone, and everyone needs to have awareness of this. So are you guys ready to find out what we found out regarding this DLC-sized mod? Then let us begin. The first set of information Anonymous gave to me is this. The lead developer considers himself to be a transgender woman and a bisexual who has a collection of Bad Dragon sex toys, but that's not the only information he gave to me. He wanted to tell me about the submarine.
Okay. So right off the bat, this person fished for info about the mod and personal info from the lead dev and found out she's a trans woman who has dildos, which is fine. Like, who cares? And showed off a submarine model, which is, like, uploaded on a site where you can buy 3D models. They're a modding team. Like, they're not, like, a paid dev team. Like, sure, okay.
That they're supposedly using in Fallout Ashfall. The supposed submarine that they're supposed to be using in Fallout Ashfall was actually taken from another site. In other words, they stole this asset from another artist, is the impression.
No. Free download is right there. That's not... The search 3D models. Turbo Squid. I'm pretty sure that's... Isn't Turbo Squid, like, the go-to place for, like, mod developers and indie game developers to get free assets? Does this guy think that... No wonder people want me to cover this stuff so bad. Like, everyone going against this mod is a fucking brain-dead idiot. There's been, like... This is the top video on this entire topic. Turbo Squid is, like, the game dev indie... like, free model site from, I've heard that mentioned so many times. Now, there is a big difference between an independent mod team making a DLC-sized mod for a 15, 20-year-old game at this point. I apologize. And, like, the day before, which was literally 99.9% just assets from a store somewhere, put together into, like, a tech demo where you can walk around and shoot, like, barely functional zombies, and then they sold it as a $40 game. That is what this guy is implying is going on here, but that is not the case. Buying or downloading free assets where they are available is not stealing assets. That is beyond brain dead. AAA dev teams use, like, publicly available asset packs you can buy online all the time.
That I'm getting when Anonymous gave me this important information. However, this is only the beginning of problems, because Anonymous Tip uncovered more than I expected, and the problem...
I really like how the lead dev is trans, is, like, a massive, like, bombshell. Like, epically mod destroyed, woke.
Let's go much deeper than this. If you even dare speak about politics, mainly right-wing politics, the lead developer will get angry at you. And this actually happened to DocBot when they found out that DocBot was actually slightly right-winged. So they are biased when it comes to political views.
Okay, so the lead dev is a trans woman who this guy is repeatedly referring to as a man and using he, him pronouns for. and he is describing the politics as the quote-unquote slightly conservative person that was banned from the Discord, as being, like, slightly conservative, right? I'm going to take a wild guess and say that someone who does not view trans people as valid enough to use their preferred pronouns, their judge of who is and isn't mildly conservative is probably not going to be, like, their judgment's not going to be a very accurate gauge. So in my mind, I don't believe him. And if the game dev modder wants to ban people from the Discord for having politics that invoke the idea that their identity isn't valid, then they can do that. It's their Discord.
This is what happened. When DocBot told the leading developer that he was slightly right-winged, he was simply not allowed into the development team project. And this is what's going to happen when they find...
When he told them that he was slightly right-wing, do you think that's how that went? Do you think it was just like they asked, hey, what are your politics? And he said, I guess I'm slightly right-wing on some things. They were like, oh, we can't work with you. You can't be on the project. Or do you think maybe there was some point in which his politics caused a problem? Like, for example, interacting with the lead game dev, who's a trans woman. Maybe there was a point where it was asked to use she, her pronouns, and his response was no. And then they were like, but we're like, can't you, you're not going to respect the lead dev of the team if you get added onto the team? And he's like, no. What the fuck do you expect to happen? What you said was actually what happened? Guys, I've been on the internet a while now. I know how people behave. Yeah. Only one I can find from the user? Is that? Yeah. Listen, TurboSquid is not an asset stealing site, from my understanding. I've heard that mentioned constantly in the space of, like, indie games. That is, from my understanding, a popular place for indie devs to get, like, pre-made 3D assets and 2D assets. Like, if you're throwing together an indie project, you're not going to be dropping tons of money on artists making custom assets. If you need a dumpster, you don't need to hire someone to make the most unique dumpster ever. Instead, you can just fucking grab a dumpster asset for, like, 20 cents off of, what's it called? TurboSquid. Yeah.
Find out if you are even slightly right-winged or even right-wing at all. They simply will not allow you into the development team project, which is what happened to him. I do not believe that is...
I don't believe that simply saying you have some right-wing values is what, like, did it. In my experience with trans people, they're people, meaning, like, they tend to, like, think with some level of human cognitive thought. So it's generally, like, saying they align with a set of positions alone in a very neutral way like that is usually not enough to bring out outright condemnation. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm open to the possibility the lead dev could be, like, a really crazy woke scoldy type. I mean, that's a type of person I've encountered plenty of times on the left, you know? I would be lying if I said those types didn't exist, but there's been no evidence provided of that other than right-wingers will get banned. I promise, because they just have mildly right-wing politics. Trust me, bro. And also, look at this massive bombshell. The lead dev is a trans woman. And then follows it up with a bunch of misgendering. I don't really feel like this is a very trustworthy source of info on the topic, to be honest.
I find this to be discriminating, and when you have a development team who is like this, something is definitely wrong with this picture. I feel that it's also important that I mention this as well. Anonymous Tip revealed to me the rules and regulations, and it clearly states that you are not allowed to discuss any form of politics into the server for Fallout Ashfall.
Oh my god. I know what's about to happen. I know what's about to happen. The Discord doesn't just have a rule against being a bigot. The Discord has a rule against political discussion, but this guy considers validating the identity of a trans person politics. Like, if you refer to a trans woman by she, her pronouns, he thinks that's politics. And so he thinks that's a double standard. He's going to try to call out a double standard because he thinks that being willing to use a trans person's preferred pronouns is making a political argument. He is about to make that dumbass point. I guarantee it. Watch him.
Ashfall. I find this to be hypocritical, and I'm going to mention the reason why I find it to be hypocritical. I can say the least, this is one of the reasons I find it to be hypocritical, but I will review more on why I find it to be hypocritical later.
Yep. There are memes being posted that are pro-trans. What if we kissed by the trans-inclusive anti-homeless spikes? It's literally a meme, and it has some political pro-trans relation. The hypocrisy.
In the video. An anonymous tip gave me this important information regarding a meme that was posted, which is a pro-left-wing slogan that was posted in the meme section of the Fallout Ashfall server. So basically...
Wait, a pro-left-wing slogan. Looking at the memes page is interesting. They say that real-world politics are verboten, but people are apparently allowed to post memes about putting the transgender flags blue and pink on anti-homeless spikes. That was from days ago and hasn't been removed. Wait, they're actually just like brain dead. Like they're actually brain dead. I like how this is what they consider investigation too. We went into their Discord server on an alt account and looked at like their Discord channels and looked to find shit. It's like, look, someone posted a meme joking about how having anti-homeless spikes painted LGBT colors is not, like, that's not progressive and it's not conservative. It's like a bizarre, what a lot of people on the left would call neoliberal perversion of progressivism, like progressive aesthetics, for like a conservative like intention, right? There isn't really a political statement being made here so much as a joke about how absurd this picture is. So it's kind of hilarious to me that of all the examples they could think of, it's this. And they're mad that there is a trans flag in the image, and so that they consider political. Like a trans flag being contained in the image, the colors of the trans flag being in the image makes it a political statement and thus hypocritical to have been allowed to be posted in the Discord
of the Fallout Ashfall server. So based on the information I've been uncovering already, so far we're not off to a very good start with the development team for Fallout Ashfall in the Discord server. I find it very strange that they do not allow right-wing identity politics of any sort, but they are allowing left-wing politics of any sort into their servers. This is very strange to me.
They are allowing left-wing politics of any sort into their servers, has shown one meme that does not express any political opinion, only makes fun of the absurdity of an image. Like the what if we kissed by the insert ridiculous thing. You know that's like meant to make fun of the ridiculous thing, right? Like what if we kissed by the, I don't know, insert weird thing that exists, right? Like it's literally the joke of what the what if we kissed in front of or at meme is about. Is this guy meme illiterate now? Can the right not meme now?
And I find this to be very suspicious already, but there is more important information I need to bring up. Ashfall Dude is not the only one who is calling the shots and say what goes and what doesn't, but there is also another person who goes by the name of Luca Starflower, who is secretly dating Ashfall Dude and is using him like a puppet. She pretty much runs part of the New Vegas modding community like a crime lord. It is crucial.
I'm going to assume that this, like, wording coming from this anonymous investigator is just basically, like, fluffing up of they have moderators and they'll ban you if you start shit. I mean, like, when you're making a YouTube video, it's very easy to frame mundane shit as a very, like, bizarre or insane thing that's, like, groundbreaking if you frame it the right way with the right wording and twisting. People are pretty effective at that in the right-wing spheres of the internet. So this is like, they run a Discord, they have mods, you'll get banned if you start shit and cause strife. What a fucking bombshell.
Then I'm bringing up Luca's name alone. It's in regards to an incident that happened with the former writer of Fallout Ashfall, which is Alot Monty. What happened is, the development team was trying to stall him out. They were hoping that he would just leave, but what happened instead is, he got kicked out, with no warnings, with no heads up that he was about to get banned. And the reason he got banned is because Luca didn't like him. And I'm pretty sure the reason that he got banned is because if they allowed him to run the project, and if everything went according to plan with the former writer, this mod, Fallout Ashfall for Fallout New Vegas, would be less woke. So based on...
Do you want to know what this video reminds me of? both in voice, tone, and like how seriously you should take it. It reminds me of this. Listen to this guy's voice here. And tell me the similarity is not uncanny.
But instead is he got kicked out with no warnings, with no heads up that he was about to get banned. And the reason he got banned is because Luca didn't like him. And I'm pretty sure the reason that he got banned is because if they allowed him to run the project,
pretty sure.
And if everything went according to plan with the former writer, this mod, Fallout Ashfall for Fallout New Vegas, would be less woke.
Are you ready? Tell me you can hear no difference.
Are necromorphs breedable? Let's say hypothetically you find a giant landmark that gives you violent tendencies while also transforming your coworkers into monsters. It'd be important to find out if necromancy is worth it. In Dead Space, the necromorphs have reconstructed mouths which are poorly equipped for sloppy toppy. Many necromorphs are shown to have only the top jaw intact while the bottom is pushed further back, making the act difficult due to awkward positioning. With this in mind, procreating with a necromorph becomes a poor alternative as humans are better designed for sloppy toppy. There's also the fact that necromorphs are technically not alive. Various audio and video logs explain that a mysterious bile recombines dead tissue which then reanimates the body. In most cultures, procreating with a dead body is illegal and frowned upon because the deceased aren't able to give consent. Since Earth exists in the Dead Space universe, it's likely that they would share the same cultural ideas on procreating with the deceased, which means the act would definitely be illegal. But the true question is, if I needed to take a dump on the Ishimura, what's the likelihood a swarmer would climb up my booty hole?
Tell me that didn't have the same tone to it. Tell me that didn't have the same tone to it, guys.
Former writer, this mod, Fallout Ashfall for Fallout New Vegas, would be less woke.
I hear it.
So based on everything that we looked at so far already, this is already a bad look on the current developers who are trying to run the Fallout Ashfall project. But I wanted to look more into the trailer and see if I can find something.
In Fallout Ashfall, Hawaii is not the heavenly resort paradise it used to be. While it was not hit as bad as the mainland, the Puna region is still not a nice place to be in the year 2281. Years of paranoia of a potential Chinese invasion left Hawaii resembling a war zone, with guard towers and military camps all over. Don't let the palm trees and lush fauna fool you. There are cannibalistic gangs of raiders, carnivorous Lomo'o geckos, and manipulative factions whose fates will all be decided by the player. As one of the writers of the mod, I can assure you there is a heavy emphasis on choice, consequence, and reactivity like that found in the original Fallout games and Fallout New Vegas itself.
Now just by looking at the trailer alone, you think everything is fine and meat and potatoes. Everything is cool and it sounds like
You think everything's fine?
a really cool mod for Fallout New Vegas. But it's until you look at all
Is this a paid mod, by the way? Like, is this even a mod that they're charging money for? I guess I can understand a little bit of this, like, I could understand the idea of there being some level of right-wing worry or concern about it if it was a paid thing, like if their money was going to have to be... It's free, so they're literally losing their minds, concerned over if a free mod will be woke. Why is he using vanilla textures? God, this guy sucks at modding. To be fair, I also suck at modding. I can't really throw shade, can I?
all the evidence I produced, thanks to Anonymous Tiff giving me all this information in regards to how the developers are. The developers who are working on—
Alright, Balth, you spent like hours in Discord with me as I was screen sharing, helping me set up my Fallout New Vegas modded, like, visual setup so I could play through it. You can't, but I can.
On this project, without the writer Alat Monty, they are definitely woke. So after looking at all this evidence, I came up with an idea.
Definitely woke.
I wanted to go in myself and check out the Discord server alone. And I made a request to Anonymous Tip for the link. And sure enough, he did give me the link to the server. But to my surprise, I thought I was going to find more information, but instead what I found is this, when I entered the Fallout Ashfall Discord server. I was actually quite surprised to see only these two channels I could access, their rules and policies, and an unverified chat. I was actually quite disappointed because I actually thought I was going to go in to get more information, even to get more screenshots and more intel on what's going on in the server, as a means to prove otherwise how woke the developers are, but unfortunately that didn't happen.
Yes, he went into this hoping to prove that the developers aren't woke. He actually went into this hoping they wouldn't be woke and that he could actually clear their names, believe it or not. That was his intention the whole time, and he's just been met with the unfortunate, undeniable conclusion that these devs are woke. And this free mod, don't buy this free DLC-sized mod because it's made by woke people and a trans person.
But lucky for me, with the limited resources I could access, I was still able to leave without going empty-handed, because there is some information I found out. In the unverified chat itself, sure enough, the lead developer of Fallout Ashfall and leading the Discord server, it appears that he is interrogating somebody. And it looks like they're screening new people who come in. So when you first come in, you're not going to have full access.
This is like... Are they serious? The idea of, like, a verify feature to get, like, access to the rest of the Discord? Do you think it's, like, weird that they have a verification system as you are actively trying to snoop around the Discord and collect non-existent dirt? Yeah, also the constant misgendering, I know. It's like, you have to remember, these people don't even engage with the idea that, like, trans people could be valid, because it's a political statement. They don't like politics. But, yeah, like, they realize that they are the reason that this system exists, right? You can't say, it's like a mugger trying to break into someone's car, like punching the windshield and then breaking their hand on bulletproof glass and being like, what the fuck? Why is this crazy bastard have bulletproof glass? What is this guy, insane? What is this guy, a fucking weirdo? Why does he have bulletproof? It's like, why are you saying he's crazy and weird for having that? You're why he has that. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's funny to me. It's a funny line of logic. Like, they have a verification system on this Discord. How scandalous.
The Fallout Ashfall Discord server. When I showed Anonymous Tip the screenshots that I collected, he was totally unfamiliar to how the Discord server looks now, because this is not how it looked before, so I assumed that after he got caught and got banned, they did some changing around and decided to change their tactics. Now what they're doing, it appears that they are screening new people who come into the Discord server. Just based on what I witnessed with my own two eyes.
I'm gonna take a wild guess it also has something to do with the fact that right-wingers are raiding the project. Like, we're not going to pretend like the right isn't rabidly antagonistic towards anybody they don't like, especially if they're part of a minority group, especially if they're trans. Like, are we going to pretend like this lead dev is getting... Well, yeah, they are going to pretend like this lead dev gets no harassment. Like, these are the types of people who during Gamergate swore up and down that none of those feminist figures who were getting nonstop harassment ever got a single death threat. There were, like, entire events that they were, like, forced to stop because of bomb threats. Like, they rented a venue and the venue shut them down because they were getting bomb threats called just to shut down, like, feminist frequency speaking engagements. And these people will just always say, like, oh no, they're just crybabying about, they should just get off the internet, just get off the computer. And it's like, well, even if they do, like, conservatives will harass you to the end of the earth if they don't like you and you've done something that pisses them off. So I don't really blame them for locking down their Discord, personally.
When I went to the server, this is already immediately a bad look, and it's very suspicious, because all this tells me that is they have something to hide, and they're hiding something that they don't want other people to find out.
I like this interpretation. They aren't trying to protect their Discord from raiders. They have something to hide.
Unless they can fully gain their trust and trust new members who come into the Discord server. In other words, they want to screen new members who come in and want to see how woke they are first in order to see the true form of the Discord server. But that's not the only thing I found out. I also...
Have you noticed how many, like, gaps have been filled in with this guy's, like, yeah, he's very conspiracy-brained. He's gone from, like, there is a dev who is trans and one person who claims they were mildly conservative got banned. And there is also someone who posted a meme with a trans flag in it at one point. And they also locked down their Discord to prevent raids. This is a clear sign they have things to hide, and they're trying to hide their wokeness.
Also found this and took a look at their rules before I decided it was time to...
Oh my god, are they actually going to get mad at this? Please follow Discord's rules and terms of service. Slurs, hate speech, racism, sexism, transphobia, harassment, and a consistent history of misgendering despite knowing an individual's preferred pronouns will lead to a ban. Wait, are you fucking serious? This is Discord's rules. If you allow this on your server and someone reports it, Discord will delete your server. Like, if you allow this on your server and someone decides to report it and the Discord mod comes and sees it, the whole server can be jeopardized. Hell, if just the server owner participates in that, the whole server is jeopardized. Are they actually going to try to claim, please follow Discord's rules and terms of service is a woke rule on Discord? On a Discord server?
Leave. And what I notice is there is no misgendering allowed. If you are willing to do something like this and set a rule like this, it already doesn't sound good because it sounds like you're...
Dude, I knew he was going to say it. He just said it later. The hypocrisy in the no political discussion is that you're not allowed to misgender people on the server. Because to these people, not misgendering someone is doing a political thing. They believe that, like, considering a trans person the gender they were assigned at birth is the default position, and you have to be woke or doing a woke action to delude yourself into using the correct pronouns.
You're willing to bend the knee for anybody who comes into the...
Bend the knee. See, they describe it as a political statement, a political declaration.
server.
Not just respecting a fellow human being and being, like, polite to them and, like, caring about them, I guess.
That is, if they prove that they're woke enough. So it appears that, just based on the evidence that I've shown in this video, it appears that, due to the current developers who are running Fallout Ashfall, this news...
Yeah, dude, no wonder you guys want me to cover this. Like, is this everybody who's talking about this? This is, like, top tier, like, brain dead shit. Like, these people are actually insane. Man, I'm glad I covered this. I'm sad I didn't cover it sooner. These people needed to get bullied for being this stupid a long time ago. God.
DLC expansion for Fallout New Vegas has a dark future, unless we can get Monty back into the project. And to put it simply, as an anonymous tip said to me, he says in quotes, a buddy of mine described it like this: Fallout Ashfall is what happens when a Jerry is put in charge of a Fallout project instead of a Rick. So with that said,
that was the most Reddit sentence I've ever heard in my fucking life. He said, this is what happens when you put a Jerry in charge of a project instead of a Rick. That's a Rick and Morty analogy. Bro, unironically, pulled a Rick and Morty analogy. This is Reddit mod shit.
it is crucial that this video gains a lot of reach, and I do mean a lot.
It is crucial this video gains a lot of reach. God, these people are so stupid and so shameless.
Because public pressure needs to be put on the current developers, and they need to be told that a lot...
He's actively encouraging the harassment. That, like, what he's encouraging right now is harassment. He is mad that, like, the lead dev is trans and doesn't allow misgendering in the Discord. The only pressure that could be applied is harassment to the main dev for being trans. The big problem with this is that fundamentally, conservatives will never see a trans person existing as a neutral thing. If a trans person exists in a space, that is wokeness taking over that space. This guy's a gooner. This guy jacks off to his, like, modded, custom-made Fallout New Vegas character. You have to install mods to make your character look like this. Like, copious mods. The guy has no graphics mods on except for maybe a reshade. So you know that, like, 90% of his modding effort went into, like, making his character look like this. This guy has not left his room or, like, talked to a girl that's on his left hand in a year. Minimum.
Monty needs to be put back into the project for Fallout Ashfall.
Like, weirdly enough, for a guy that jacks off this, like, as much as this guy clearly does, he is currently existing in a state of pre-nut delusion, which is surprising to me because you'd think a guy like this would be living in a constant state of post-nut clarity.
As an anonymous tip would put it, this is why we need gatekeeping back into our fandoms, mainly involving the gaming industry. I need someone to get a clip from this video with the rock music playing in the background, the slow transition from this character walking at the screen. I want you to isolate this into a meme, okay? Hold on. I'm getting rid of my webcam. I'm getting rid of my chat. And I just want... Oh, hold on. I'm getting rid of everything on screen.
And I just want you guys, like, just imagine this as a meme. Just imagine this clip as a meme.
Back into the project for Fallout Ashfall. As Anonymous Tip would put it, this is why we need gatekeeping back into our fandoms, mainly involving the gaming industry, because this is happening everywhere, with video games, with video game developers, and even including modding communities.
Could you fucking imagine that clip getting posted on, like, a social media, the right social media at the right time? That clip could go viral as, like, the face of these right-wing grifters in, like, a funny fucking way. Like, switching from the guy's, like, over-sexed up character, his nasally voice with the constant, like, verbal slurring of his speech, and then, like, him with the rock music in the background with the bad editing and the "this is why we need gatekeeping. They're willing to bend the knee to the they-thems." Zan, watch the comments. The guy tried to walk back the video. Okay, let's check it out. Bro got his doctorate in Japanese because he's yapping. Man really took 12 minutes to whine and yap about woke modders. Also, of course, bro has the breast physics mod and skimpy clothes. Everything I don't like is woke. Well, your courier definitely isn't woke, that's for sure. Kind of disagree about the server verification, meaning they have something to hide. I think it's normal. You want to be able to verify who comes into your server, and you also don't want people leaking information. Got to build some trust first. Even if you don't get beat over the head with the wokeness, they refuse to answer your questions. At least that it's what happened with me when I joined the Elder Kings Discord server. They stole the asset. Huh? Dude, it's Turbo Squid. The asset is royalty-free. This is a common and widely accepted industry practice. He replied, did you watch the second video? I take it most people don't pay attention to video descriptions anymore. Did he make a second video where he walks everything back? The Mystery of Ashfall Part 2.
This video is actually going to be a follow-up video that I did regarding the Fallout Ashfall video that I created.
Dog, I've already been covering this nasally fuck for 37 minutes. Ugh. We're skimming this one, boys.
And the reason that I'm doing this is because I believe there was some misinformation I gave to my viewers, and I feel I need to clarify all of that in this video.
Yeah, the fact that, like, I knew what Turbo Squid was and this guy didn't is, like, a pretty good, like, exhibition of the fact that he has no fucking no idea about anything having to do with game development whatsoever. It's so funny watching right-wingers try to claim certain projects, particularly Helldivers. Helldivers 2. I know one of the devs, or one of the ex-devs of Helldivers 2, who worked on UI and was behind the decision to categorize gender or sex in Helldivers as body type. When you select your body type in Helldivers, the lean and brawny, that's, like, it was originally male, female, or woman, man, or like, whatever. And, like, yeah, that was a progressive decision that was made behind the scenes to be inclusive, and also because it works in lore as well, because like Super Earth doesn't care if you're a man or a woman. You're just a soldier. You're a Helldiver. Doesn't matter. You're a Helldiver. Who cares? You're either a brawny or a lean Helldiver. You're wearing a suit all the time. No one can tell. You don't have a name anymore. And so, yeah. Like, the right will try to claim these things and say, yeah, the Helldivers devs, they've taken the side of the right. They're anti-woke. And it's like, I know for a fact they're not anti-woke.
Alone. If you want to know the video that I'm talking about, it's this one. I'll link it in the descriptions, but in that video also, I'm going to link this video in the descriptions, so that way I can clear the air and clear things up in this video. I'm just going to be honest with everyone here. I wasn't too impressed with the outcome of this video, and overall, due to the performance of the video itself containing misinformation, that also does not make me happy as well. However, to say the
Dude, I know what he's going to try to do is maintain the same position that the dev team is woke, the project is woke, and you should be concerned, while walking back all the misinfo he used to make the point, and he's going to try to yap on more. I wonder what the comments replies to this one are. Most of the comments on this one are positive. The last video had a lot more negative replies. He might be deleting comments on this one. The amount of butthurt in some of these replies on this video has supplied gallons of liberal tears for the humble liberal tears merchant. The fact that is a reference, if you know what that's referencing. Yeah, I don't see any comments from people criticizing him. He's deleting comments because there's a lot of comments from conservatives making fun of people criticizing him. Yeah, and I've reached the end of the comments section. He's deleted all of the negative comments. There's like 10 comments here, and multiple of them are mentioning all the liberal tiers in the comments section, but they're not there, which means he's deleted them. There's like, let's count how many comments are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 comments. What's the like to dislike ratio? We can't see the like to dislike ratio, but we can see the like to view ratio. It has 442 views and 31 likes from 3 months ago. Yeah, this didn't really go anywhere for this guy, did it? He's not a big channel. 1.14k subs. His most recent video was 3 days ago, and it actually got 1.8k views. Roasting of the Shills, Review Tech USA, the real YouTube grifter. The day that the right-wing media grifters figured out there's a word for what they do and started using it to describe other people that criticize them was truly a sad day. Like, they had this span of time where they were getting fucked bad because there was a word for literally what they do. It's grifting. And they've started using that as a projection insult. They've adapted it. They've adopted, the quartering is one of the most constant callers of, calling people a grifter all the time, you know? And it's quite hilarious because he's probably one of the best examples of one. But, yeah. Dude, look at this guy's channel. This is shameless. Look at his, AI-generated, knockoff Yennefer cosplay, whatever the fuck this is, as his banner. Shadow Raven Studios. Man, 136 videos and 1.14k subs. Yikes. Yikes.